We're safe enough for now. Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit and in the green. Don't head down that area because, well, I'll demonstrate why. We will encounter a toxic floor which we can't do anything about. It's wisest to take care of that with the tank. How are we doing on ore chunks anyway? Died a few times accidentally in the freezing furnace, but we're doing all right for totals. We'll have to head back to the ice side and get most of our jiggies sorted. We can't get up there just yet, but we'll make do. Ah. I think we can only kill them with the Wonder Wing. Probably best not to push it. So we've got 3 out of the 4. Let's go back to the freezing furnace. Much better in cold conditions, if I'm going to be honest. Always did prefer winter, as I've said quite a few times. And we'll wind up running into a few more Yetis, but since we have our magic token, we can transform and basically show off a few more skills. Where's that Jinjo? The Jinjo is... well, we're towards the top of the area anyway. We can head on into here and we get another minigame. Not you again! Yep, indeed it is. What are you doing here?
Help! Help!
What was that? Nothing. Nothing at all.
It was me. We're the Snowies. This nasty man and his gang are trying to catch us. Please save us.
We will if we can, but how?
Use one of the skidoos to pick us up off the floor before the nasty men get us. Collect enough of us to earn a reward.
And you basically have the same controls as the Blubber minigame back in Breagle Beach. Get collecting and basically just mash the shoot button. I think Mr. Rapovsky actually starts with a bit of an advantage. We've got the lead. Oh wait, hang on. Spend a bit too much time fighting and the how am I doing? Oh, I've spent too much time driving into walls. Too bad, my brown and yellow friend. You didn't collect enough to save them. Come back and try again if you dare. We will be back. So this one is a little annoying. These 3-on-1 challenges with I think we're actually shooting from the front this time around. Probably want to avoid fighting, but the fact they're all falling from sort of top-down perspective can make it a little difficult. Not to mention you either have to be at point blank to get them, or... you know, I preferred it when it was a one-on-one and we just had to do this against crocodiles. The crocodile was a jerk. I think we got a pretty commanding lead, but don't worry, the next minigame Mr. Rapovsky has for us is even worse. No, I don't believe it! How could you? Thanks. There we go, another Jiggy for us. And a cold reception from the Yeti there. Those tornadoes around the place don't actually... well, they don't do anything for helping you jump height. They basically just get in your way. So there we are. Fire eggs can melt any obstacles, any blocks of ice in our way. They also knock gold feathers out of us. Can I stick the landing on that? Yes, I can. That's a bit of a surprise, but move carefully over the cold water, just like it did in Freeze Easy Peak. It's going to hurt us. So there's a tank door around here, which is useful because Mumbo is nearby. So now let's see, can we use fire eggs on that? No, we can't, which is really, really stupid. Didn't realize I'd lost so much health. Anyway.
Banjo have new totem for Mumbo magic. Mumbo hope this turn out all right. Mumbo change Banjo into something now?
So what we need to do is actually get the candle for a little bit, because as far as I know, the candle is the only way we can blow that up.
Better not try out new one yet? That alright. Give Mumbo time to practice. Get it right.
It's time for the candle to actually get to do something else. For all of 1 second. Really not much for the candle to do. We can sneak in and get this, but I think we'll die. We can wind up getting that, but we have to avoid getting shot with the jets of water. Not too hard. The candle probably does have a smaller hitbox. Now we can wind up getting our transformation going, and let's use the tank for the first time.
Mumbo call this tank. Use tank to break through tank door. Metal feet make tanks safe to go through harmful areas. Tank no can jump. Press B to fire tank shot.
So, cruise on through the freezing furnace and go to the tank door. One-shotting any enemies in our way. We can cruise through Grunty Industries pretty easily. Now... Oh, come on, we can't actually... I thought the entire point of that switch being down there was to have the tank drive on it. Because this floor is poisonous and winds up taking off like 3 or 4 honeycombs. I mean, I know there's an ore chunk down there, but I really thought that was the point. So the lava jetty. We have to drive over all these collapsing platforms. If you're familiar with the Sutopolis City Gym, you'll know the basic principle of this. So there we are, we've done everything we need to with the tank in this level. It's pretty limited. Because of course we can't jump and it will die if it falls or winds up going into water. So that's pretty much all we need the tank for. I really thought that the tank would be heavy enough to press a switch because, you know, metal tank and all that. But let's clean out what we can here before we wind up going back into the actual furnace area. Oh well, some lessons learned the hard way, I guess. If we go over here, we've got another switch challenge to undertake. We will have to go back to Mumbo's and get a couple of other things done, of course. But I want to finish that off a bit later. Now, make sure we position ourselves just right. This one is a little unforgiving. Whoa, no, the handling. We actually have to do this. Which opens up the main lift to the upper part of the furnace. I'm just calling it that because that's pretty much the name of the level. This is basically like... Think of it basically as a poor man's Hailfire Peaks. Suppose it's not too poor per se, because it's not exactly a shoddy level. It's just that Hailfire Peaks sort of did the theme earlier and better on top of that. At least I think Hailfire Peaks did it a little bit better. This still isn't bad, all things considered. But honestly, I do think the fact that the levels are just sort of so comparatively basic is a bit of a hindrance. They're nice to explore, they are pretty big, but they're not quite as big in scope as all the other ones that we've come to know and love. Oh, that didn't go down very well. Anyway, this one is a bit of a bother. You have to get your movement just right. Maybe 1 second more and it might have worked, but this is... You know the one in the Bubble Gloop Swamp where you have to go over that narrow pathway in 10 seconds? This is kind of a spiritual successor to that, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not very good... Oh, you lose your... You lose the Talon Trot, you don't get that jump just right coming in there. You're in a lot of trouble. Wait. Well, that answers my question. Can you? No, you cannot. That... Sometimes that isometric thing screws me up so badly. But yeah, this Chiggy is annoying. Requires very precise movement, which can sometimes be hard to do with a plus pad. It's part of why Mario 64 DS isn't always that well regarded unless you have a 3DS, Moonwalking Banjo. Basically, you need very specific movement in sort of that 8-direction movement, and the plus pad doesn't quite provide that. Did it! Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of time shortly to compose myself and work on the next challenge, because that next challenge, the one we have to deal with coming up, really sucks. It's a really, really crappy minigame. It is right in here, and once again we're dealing with Mr. Rapovsky. What an absolute bother it's going to be, so I'll end things for now. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.